reach out to, make the fight. But we didn't know how serious it was. Me and Ryan, we just basically got on the phone. I told him everything I wanted. And yeah, no, I am a competitor. And, when I first started out boxing, when I took it serious and, I was like, this what I'm going to do. I wanted to be, I said, I'm going to be great in the sport. I'm going to be the best. I'm not in here to be, just a competitor. I'm not in here to be just one of the other guys. I want to be the best. I want to be the guy. So it hasn't, nothing has changed. So the world get to see me face it. But, I'm going to rise even higher than I was before.
Now that you're taking care of business, how does you and Devin Haney end? How does that fight go?
A knockout.
45 seconds left, kid. Stay sharp, baby.
Bro, I'm real, bro. I'm for real. And put anybody in there in front of me, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna stop them. Put your money on.
Keyshawn Davis stepped into his junior welterweight debut and didn't just win. He detonated a statement, stopping Jermaine Ortiz with a thunderous TKO. Then, while the moment was still burning hot, he turned to the cameras, called out Devin Haney, and sent a shockwave through the boxing world.
Devin Haney, you talked the other day, and I told you what Mickey Bay said about Devin Haney and you fight. I talked with somebody that you might know from when you were younger, Coach Sean from Norfolk, Virginia. He told me, when it come to fighting, Keyshawn Davis is just a mean little dude. Like, you can come, you want to box and do all that. He love to fight. Now, I asked you this about Mickey when it came to Devin Haney. Now that you're taking care of business, how does you and Devin Haney end? How does that fight go?
A knockout.
Say that.
Haney didn't let the moment linger in the air for long, answering back directly on social media, cutting through the noise with a calm, icy response that said everything without saying much at all. Keyshawn, let's do it. A short message that confirmed he heard the challenge loud and clear and wasn't brushing it aside. Then Keyshawn Davis snapped right back with fearless confidence, promising a knockout if they ever shared the ring, making it clear he isn't chasing hype, he's chasing top-level competition and believes he's already built for it.
Devin said, let's do it. I know he's dealing with some legal issues. I don't know what happened. He said he had to turn himself in, but I believe he tweeted Keyshawn, let's do it.
He said that?
Yeah, but he tweeted something like that. Yeah.
Well, Bill was in my DMs. We already was talking about it, honestly, before he even hit the media. So I know it's going to happen in 2022.
And you're good going straight to Devin in your first fight at 47?
If it make money.
Davis keeps repeating it like a promise he's already prepared to cash in, that he'll fight anybody, that big names don't scare him, that he's for real, letting the music fade as his confidence stays loud, vowing to stop whoever stands across from him, one opponent at a time, as he hunts elite challenges like Devin Haney, Lewis Crocker, and Dalton Smith, chasing those names not for noise, but to prove, once and for all, that he belongs at the very highest level.
You set your targets publicly on Devin Haney, #1 welterweight by ring, most estimations right now, champion. Why is that? Why Devin Haney? And you have half the amount of professional fights he has. Do you think that's something? There's enough in it for him when he's.
I was 6-0 fighting people with 30+ fights, bro.
I don't mean it from that. What I mean is
stopping him.
Why is he
stop it? No, I'm playing. I'm playing, bro. Nah, why Devin Haney, bro? Honestly, because he's a star. He's a superstar.
You asking that question. I felt like that's what it was. But go ahead.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm ready to fight anybody. So I'm going for the star.
Davis went straight at Devin Haney, unloading with words instead of punches, saying that even though Haney moved up in weight after leaving 135 pounds behind, the power never followed him, insisting he still doesn't hit hard, still lacks true knockout force, boldly claiming he'd be able to stop him, and doubling down that Haney simply hasn't shown real, dangerous punching strength at the higher weights yet.
But we talking business right now, I will knock Devin out for sure. For sure.
You don't think he's hitting a little harder at 47 than he was at 35 and 40 growing into that weight? That's a no.
It looked like it.
It looked like it.
It looks
to
like
us, Keyshawn.
To me.
Let's see how hard I hit January 31st.
I like it.
Do you think you're already a bright enough star that he'd be willing to take? Because, as a businessman, risk reward, You think you bring enough to the table that he'd want to take the fight? He would take the fight?
Hopefully, bro. I hope he would take the fight. In terms of answering your question, a bright enough star, he's already entertaining me on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. So I guess he sees some money potential in this fight right here. But what I would like to do is I would like to become champion, because that just speaks for itself. Once I come to the champion with the table, you can't play with me.
Davis says the tension runs deeper than today, that Devin Haney never showed him respect going all the way back to their early days. And in his mind, that disrespect turned into a pattern, a belief that Haney always underestimated him, never truly seeing him as a real threat, never giving credit where it was due, failing to acknowledge his skills even as Davis kept climbing, fight by fight, rank by rank, pushing closer and closer toward elite opponents.
I was always around Shakur as an amateur and shit. So Shakur introduced me to Floyd, Devin Haney, all that type of shit. So there's a hell of times around Devin Haney, and we 24 fitness, playing basketball, regular shit before niggas became celebrities type shit, or just who we are today. And nigga just never showed, nigga never even looked me in my eyes. Nigga never showed me respect. Like nigga never, Shakur always like, yo, this nigga Keyshawn, this, that, third. He be like, for real? That nigga still a kid. And like, he just never gave me my respect.
He sunned you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bitch ass nigga, you know goddamn well, nigga, now I'm here, nigga. And everything Shakur been saying, nigga, I lived up to it and then some. What you talking about? And he's still, like, his father used to, it's crazy because my beginning of my professional career, his father used to be like, oh, shit, the businessman was with you, like, dap me up.
My man.
And,
so you always was the
Dad,
businessman.
And Dad was keep his face forward and like, damn, I can't get no pat. Like, nigga, we African American, you can't show me no type of love. You're weird.
All right, well, how about this?
So you've been a businessman.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Since like an amateur.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis didn't whisper his intentions. He showed up and put them on full display, publicly calling out Bill Haney and asking him to help bring this fight with Devin Haney to life, saying he's ready to step up right now, and warning that if the support isn't there, he'll still beat Devin in the ring, demanding respect and positioning himself for a massive, high-profile showdown.
You go handle your business right here, because you know me and you in the DMs. Correct? And you know you told me that you would look like an opportunity. I believe you.
Not Jermaine, now what we doing?
The same thing that we talked about we were going to do in the DMs before you picked your man.
2026, we doing it.
You promise?
You promise. You the promoter.
Well, I got you. Listen, in the DMs, I got your word on it. All right, just stand on it. Good luck. Handle that.
Keyshawn has transformed right in front of everyone's eyes, evolving as a fighter with sharper power, deeper discipline, and a locked-in focus that showed itself clearly when he stopped Jermaine Ortiz, becoming the first man ever to finish him. And that moment hit harder when you remember Ortiz had already gone the distance with elite names like Vasilya Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, a reminder that this wasn't luck. This was proof that Davis is rising fast, accelerating toward top level. Competition with momentum that's starting to feel impossible to slow down.
Jermaine Ortiz, something that Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko couldn't do against Jermaine Ortiz. Heck, they had tough battles with Ortiz. Keyshawn relatively was in control and made this look easy. All right, let's talk about the first half of this fight. It was a very awkward and ugly fight as Jermaine Ortiz was moving all around, kind of jittery. Something we anticipated Jermaine Ortiz would do. That's kind of how he fights, really awkward type. Keyshawn Davis was like, all right, cool. The jab was phenomenal for Keyshawn. Yes, the power punches through like the first half of the fight were even. The jab was way in favor of Keyshawn Davis. That's how he was able to keep Jermaine Ortiz at range. So when Ortiz tried to come in quickly, Keyshawn wasn't having any of it. Then the second half of the fight, really rounds 8 through 12, Jermaine Ortiz realized, I can't keep doing that. I'm gonna have to just stand right in front of him and kind of box and try and land some shots, because Ortiz did land some shots on Keyshawn in front of him, man. Keyshawn picked him apart. The jab, the right hand, the left hand, hooks. I'm telling you, everything. Keyshawn Davis is back. In the 11th round, stops him with drops him with a body shot, goes to the head, nice right hand. Then you can see on the replay, he looks down, sees Ortiz is covering with his hands up here, looks at the body, sees it wide open, left hand to the body, drops him. Ortiz has to take a knee. Then in the 12th round, Ortiz has an awful left eye, swollen, basically shut. They're like, all right, last round, let's go ahead. Keyshawn, 15 seconds left, does what he needs to do, gets the stoppage. The TKO ref says, yeah, no, I can't do it anymore. I can't watch this. And Keyshawn Davis is back. Hey, he called out Devin Haney immediately after the fight. He wants to go up to 47. Already looked pretty big.
Davis looked back on his debut at 140 pounds and admitted it surprised even him. How comfortable everything felt the moment he stepped into that new weight class. How the confidence came naturally. How his body felt stronger, sturdier, more alive than he expected, letting him take his opponent's punches without losing rhythm or belief. And as the fight unfolded, he stayed calm, steady, never rushing, carefully pacing himself while slowly draining the strength out of Jermaine Ortiz round by round, explaining later that even as the minutes passed, he never lost sight of one clear goal, stoppage, keeping the idea of a knockout locked in his mind from the early rounds, trusting patience over panic, power over desperation, and that blend of discipline, endurance, and sustained pressure eventually paid off when it all broke open in the 12th round, a decisive stoppage that didn't just end the fight, but stamped his authority. And when it was over, observers and analysts were quick to take notice, praising the performance as exceptional for a divisional debut, pointing out that Davis didn't merely survive at the new weight, he thrived, adapting seamlessly while showing championship-level composure, control, and a finishing instinct that suggested this wasn't just a successful debut, it was a warning of what's coming next.
I was surprised. I'm like, damn, okay. But, yeah, man, I just felt like, I feel like he had a lot of respect for me in the ring. I feel like I was already getting to him in the weigh-ins and press conference. I don't know. I think I just always get to my opponents before I fight. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I just be being myself, for real. And he was showing me a lot of respect in there in the ring. But also, as the fight just kept going on, we both got comfortable with each other, like, all right, bet. So I did feel him actually trying to win, for sure. But, like, after a while, as I kept punching him and as my strength and energy was not going down, he was just in there. So then after like 6th round, I'm like, all right, I got 6 more rounds to go. I'm really about to try to stop you now. You know what I'm saying? Even in the 12th round, I'm like, I'm about to stop you. Like it never left my head. Like, I'm about to stop.
Keyshawn Davis opened up honestly about the road that led him back to this moment, pulling back the curtain on an emotional journey filled with twists, setbacks, and personal battles that followed his last fight, admitting there were nights when doubt crept in so loudly that he questioned whether he even wanted to keep boxing at all, moments that exposed just how heavy the mental and emotional weight had become, and yet through that uncertainty, he kept moving forward, overcoming those inner struggles to return to the ring and ultimately keep a promise he had made long ago to his fans by delivering a knockout in his 140-pound debut against Jermaine Ortiz, doing it under the bright lights and roaring energy of 20,000 fans, where he said the atmosphere gave him clarity, gratitude, and a renewed sense of purpose, framing the victory not as just another win, but as a turning point in his career, describing the fight as a dream finally realized, proof that perseverance, faith, and relentless determination can transform setbacks into defining achievements. And in that moment, as the crowd reacted and the dust settled, Davis made it clear that this wasn't the end of a chapter, but the beginning of a promising upward path that feels stronger, clearer, and more dangerous than ever before.
40 to cement his status as a top player in the division, and I'm going to turn it over to Keyshawn.
Well, first things first, all glory to God. Jesus Christ, forgive me this win. It's been a long time coming, man. From my last fight all the way to tonight, man. It was just a lot of twists and turns and up and downs and nights where I just didn't even want to do this anymore. And y'all don't know the half of like how I even got here tonight just to perform. And how I got that knockout is crazy because I always dreamed to get like a 12-round knockout, like 12 round. Like that was always my dream. So like to do it in an opponent like Jermaine Ortiz on my return in front of 20,000 fans, that's God, bro. That's God. I feel like he turned my whole career around. And now it's just continuing to keep trusting in him, that he's gonna do even bigger things for me. And I'm here, man. I'm back, and I'm better, just like I promised y'all.
Keyshawn Davis hasn't held back on how he sees a potential showdown with Devin Haney, and that confidence has spilled over into every social media post and interview, sharp and unflinching, where he suggested Haney would be little more than a warm-up, claiming the champion lacks real punching power and showing nothing stylistically that could trouble him, sending a clear message that if the fight ever happens, he'd handle it with ease, a tone fueled by the self-belief that erupted after his emphatic TKO over Jermaine Ortiz, a victory that wasn't just a win but statement, stopping multiple opponents who had never been stopped before, and now Davis insists he'd do the same to anyone who steps in his path, including Haney, projecting both certainty and challenge in equal measure.
I feel like me and Devin Haney will be it'll be an easy fight for me, bro. Like super easy, bro. Like, and I know I would stop Devin Haney. I've been saying this, bro, before the Ryan fight, bro. He just don't got nothing for me. He got nothing for me. Like, you don't got no power. You got nothing for me to worry about. Like, what are you gonna do to stop me?
Got you.
And what I got coming with, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he don't got nothing to even stop me. His defense is not that good. I feel like I got better defense than him. I know he fought better opponents than me, so you know what I'm saying? So I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just feel like I got better defense than him.
His resume tough.
Nah, it is.
His resume tough.
But you gotta realize he fought a lot of guys that was smaller than him too, bro. A lot of these guys were smaller than him, and he was saying it in the weigh-ins, you're too small. You know what I mean? So he knew what he was doing, bro.
Davis didn't hold back, launching a fierce verbal attack on Devin Haney over the lawsuit tied to his controversial fight with Ryan Garcia, calling him soft and insisting that a real competitor faces setbacks head-on instead of dragging them through the courts, questioning Haney's sportsmanship and painting the legal route as weak, a move unworthy of a top-tier boxer, arguing that true fighters take their losses with dignity and keep moving forward, and he didn't stop there. Davis dug deeper into the narrative around Haney, claiming that much of his success has been cushioned by his father and the critics who protect him, labeling him a daddy's boy who hasn't been tested by real adversity, all while remaining undefeated, setting up a picture of a fighter who's never truly been forced to prove himself under pressure.
Doing all of this with a person that had 0.1 estrogen, and we all seen that Ryan Garcia was still in there getting tired. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, there's no other word to put it. You're a bitch. Excuse my language. That's how I feel. You're soft. You will not take your L's. You a person that been given everything all your life. Daddy's boy, making sure you been straight all your life. And
despite Keyshawn Davis questioning Devin Haney's chin and power, Haney has been quick to defend himself, insisting he's proven time and again that he can take a punch and still compete at the highest level, pointing to the fight with Ryan Garcia, where even after being knocked down 3 times, he rose each time and kept fighting, showing both heart and toughness, a refusal to back down that he says defines a true competitor, making it clear he doesn't fear being tested and that overcoming adversity is part of what shapes a great fighter, stressing that every time he got off the canvas, it wasn't luck, it was resilience, a quality that too many critics fail to recognize.
No, when you get hit and you get up, that's what's showing you have a chin. Being able to get hit and get right back to it.
Did you ever recover from that getting hurt the first time? In the very first round?
I feel like I recovered because I wasn't that hurt. It was more like a surprise.
Like shock.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I recovered.
What is Bill telling you throughout the course of the fight? What did he have? What type of urgency did he have? What was he saying?
Like I said, I don't want to speak on that too much for various reasons, but yeah.
Are y'all still taking legal action over what he did? Are y'all still thinking about it?
Andre Ward, the former 2-division world champion and respected HBO ESPN boxing analyst, hasn't held back in recognizing Devin Haney's talent, work ethic, and undeniable potential, praise that carries serious weight coming from someone of Ward's stature in the sport. Ward has highlighted Haney as a disciplined, focused fighter who trains relentlessly, never letting anything distract him, noting that this full-time dedication makes him a difficult challenge, especially for a young champion still finding his prime. But Ward's respect goes deeper than surface-level compliments. He's pointed out that Haney's mix of skill, preparation, and unwavering discipline gives him the tools to become a true superstar when it all clicks in the biggest fights. Ward has also weighed in on Haney's more controversial moments, like the razor-close bout with Vasily Lomachenko, defending his performances and urging fans and critics alike to view such tight contests with fairness and perspective. Coming from a figure of Ward's caliber, This endorsement signals that many within boxing's inner circles already see Haney not just as a rising star, but as one of the sport's elite competitors, someone whose combination of talent and commitment sets him apart in a field full of promising young fighters.
Haney has done a masterful job with how he's moved his son. And Devin Haney is the truth. He's got skill. He's probably one of the most technically sound fighters in the game today. I think Haney has the advantage because similar to me and Kovalev, people think, oh, he's been at the weight class longer, so he's bigger. It's like, nah, he might be bigger. Doesn't mean he's stronger. And he's sucking himself down to get to 140. That shows up after that 6th or 7th round. The guy coming up, if he knows how to box and he knows his way around that ring, he ultimately has the advantage because I don't have to look.
So the big question lingers. If Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney actually stepped into the ring, who comes out on top? Is Davis for real the kind of fighter who can handle Haney's skill and experience? Or is all this just hype, social media bravado, and talk that might never turn into an actual fight? The tension, the trash talk, the knockout claims, it's all building a story, but the ring is the ultimate test. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see where the fans stand. Would Davis shock the world, or is Haney's polish too much for him to handle?